Having a starter Pokemon in the team of a player character has always been a massive staple when it comes to the journey and the adventure of every trainer all around the world, and Ash Ketchum, for 22 years of his run, was no exception. However, in the final 3 before his departure, they also departed from this tradition and they broke the mold in the series Pokemon Journeys by giving Ash no starter Pokemon whatsoever, and this was shocking. So the question that I ask today is, what if this had always been the case? What if Ash Ketchum never had any starter Pokemon whatsoever throughout his entire run as a protagonist? That's what we are here to find out together, trainers, so make sure to stay tuned and subscribe for more. Let's go! Starting off where it all began, let's start with the Kanto region. Ash will always have Pikachu, that's going to be a massive part of this video. He will still start with Pikachu as his first partner Pokemon, and throughout the adventure I'm going to have him catch, 6 Pokemon to keep things simple. Continuing on with the Generation 1 team, I think that he would have Butterfree, Kingler, Muk, Primeape, Mr. Mime, and Tauros. So basically, the reserves, the powerhouses, the releases. They are very strong and very capable, however even Ash himself would probably have a lot more difficult time training these Pokemon, and given how dim-witted he was in the Kanto anime, he would probably, have more powerful Pokemon, so he would rank higher, or he would have a more difficult time training them and he would rank lower than the top 16 in the Indigo League. I would like to know how you guys feel about it in the comment section down below. Let me know how far do you think Ash would reach, what will be the training styles if he had utilized these Pokemon further. I'm very curious about this discussion. So let's keep it going with Johto. In this west part of the Indigo Peninsula, this is where I believe that Ash would start focusing on an elemental core of grass, fire and water. As for the Pokemon that he would have in the team, I would probably think it would be Espeon, Sunflora, Shiny Noctowl, Houndoom, Heracross and Quagsire. Keeping it 2 main staples with Noctowl and Heracross, however, all of the other Pokemon, they are, very famous for being in Ash-related teams when it comes to the fan base. Espeon is a great staple from, being in Red from Gold, Silver and Crystal. And the other are goofy and powerful enough to the point where, they leave a big mark. Houndoom being a great example of being a Dark-type Pokemon, being a new type introduced in this generation. I think it would be amazing if he did representation on the roster. Maybe in this timeline Brock could get Steelix earlier for the Steel type representation, but I digress. Let's continue to the Hoenn region, and this is where I think that Ash's team would be Swallow, Breloom, Crawdaunt, Grumpig, Torkoal, and for a less surprise, Frostlass. I do believe that Ash would, focus on the other 5, just like, he did with the other Pokemon in the Advanced Generation series. Evolving Corphish, having more of a fighting type focus on Breloom instead of, just the regular Sceptile, and maybe getting, that one roaming Spoink and becoming a Grumpig. He would still get the Snorunt, he would just not evolve it for the League, or even have it at all. Maybe, it would be the Phanpy equivalent, and so therefore evolving the final of the Battle Frontier and become a Frostlass and leading Ash to go to the actual Sinnoh region. And speaking of Sinnoh, this is the team that I crafted for Ash, that being of Ambipom, Floatzel, Kricketune, Gliscor, Lucario, and Zoroark. As for the first 2, Ash-headed, I don't think there is real need for, doing the trade with Dawn in this scenario. Just have Ash keep Ambipom instead of, releasing it to go to Ping Pong. Have Ash have a Pokemon that doesn't really fit his style, so he as a trainer needs to learn how to adapt to Ambipom's style. And Ash would also, get another bug to, be more predominant with it, so I think a Kricketune would be cool. He would still keep Gliscor, of course. The Lucario arc would be, done here. It would probably be the Ranger Riolu, maybe give it like a massive outburst with Aura, like how Infernape had with Blaze. And the Zoroark here is to tease, you know, the events of Unova. Maybe he gets it instead of Gible and evolves it against Conway into a Zoroark and uses the illusion ability to fight, you know, against Tobias, maybe Darkrai and or Latios. However, maybe continuing talking about Unova, this is going to be a very massive departure, because this is where I think Ash would get more than 6, given how the nature of Best Wishes was. Or maybe he would get one or the other. I'm going to show you the team, let me know what you guys think about it. The team that I had for Ash in Unova is Darmanitan and or Musharna, Gigalith, Leavanny and or Unpheasant, and a trio of ground-type Pokemon being Garchomp from the Gible that he got in Sinnoh. Maybe it followed him similar to how Jigglypuff follows Ash. And he would have a great rivalry with, you know, Iris's Axew. And the other two would be, you know, Seismitoad and Crocodile, with Seismitoad being, you know, the evolved form of his Palpitoad. The same would go with Gigalith from Boldore. But yeah, this is the team that I have for Ash in Unova. I think it's very unique. It's also very colorful, don't you agree? So there's that. And now for Kalos. This is the team that I have for Ash when it comes to the Kalos region. And those are Mega Glalie, Furfrou, Talonflame, Florges, Kudra, and Scrafty. Mega Glalie could be either romantic pairing for the Frostlass that he had during AG and DP, or it could be the offspring of said Frostlass. I think it would be cool for Ash to basically train either a couple of Pokemon or a mother and son Pokemon. And I feel like Glalie would be the best bet in terms of, you know, even type diversity. As you can see in the roster, Ash has no grass, but there is, you know, the Fairy of Florges. He has no poison or water, but there is, you know, the Dragon and Sluggish of, you know, Gudra. And I decided to bring Scrafty here, and, you know, for more street representation of Lumio City, and I think it would also be a nice, you know, continuity callback, unlike the original canon of the X and Y anime. Continuing on to the Sunshine Beaches of the Alola region, this is where Ash would get Passimian, Lycanroc, Palisand, Toucanon, Naganadel, and Solgaleo. This is what I think it would be, you know, Ash's team for the Sun and Moon series. I think they are also very predominant. There are some great new factors. Maybe, you know, we could have, you know, Toucanon battle with, you know, Kukui's Incineroar. Maybe we have, you know, the Melmetal aspect with the mineral and inanimate object going into Palisand. And the goofiness of, you know, the Woodlands Pokemon would be portrayed in Passimian instead of Rowlet. And last but not least, for now, this is where I have a Journeys team. Nah, I'm lying to you, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna have a regular Galar team. But only with 4 Galar Pokemon though. Ash's Galar team and final team are going to be Melmetal, Dracovish, Alcremie, Frostmoth, Surfetch, and Armor Rouge. I have a Pokemon from the unknown region who is able to Gigantamax in Melmetal, so instead of, you know, getting in Alola, he would get it here. I think it would be very cool. Maybe you could have a correlation with the rusted items and the steel type of Zacian and Zamazenta. He will still get Dracovish and Surfetch. I think, you know, they are fine in terms of, you know, being in a Galar team, not in a World Tournament team. Alcremie, Ash bonded with one, and I think it would be cool to, you know, have Decorate on Surfetch for double battles. It would be extremely massively cool. And speaking of cool, even Frostmoth, it's a Pokemon that, you know, evolves with friendship during nighttime. That's, you know, another great example of Ash being a very empathetic trainer. And Armor Rouge is here because if there was to be a movie in Galar that teased the next generation, Armor Rouge would be, you know, your Lucario, your Zoroark, and I think it would be very fitting for, you know, Ash to have a Charcadet that he trains in the very end. Maybe even squabble with Leon's Charizard or Cinderace, who knows? Or maybe not even be in the Winden Cup at all. Icing on the cake, maybe this Armor Rouge, because it's Fire Psychic, it would have the Ghost Terra. Who's to say? But yes, trainers, there you have it. These are the teams that I would give Ash Ketchum had he had no starter Pokemon whatsoever throughout his entire run as an anime protagonist, so let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for the support, and I will see you another time in another video. KuroBlitz out.